Middle Ages get a bad reputation, but this looks like the single most fun way I can imagine to poop. Medieval European kingdoms be like, a competent king is crowned. He strengthens the country. An awful king is crowned. He undoes everything done by his predecessor. Ginger root in Fortnite? Medieval herbalist. When their supplies are delayed, 90% of a guy's daydreaming is spent mentally preparing for this exact scenario. I would thrive as a castle guard, leaning on my spear, glaring at wenches, move along, hail citizen, halt, and so on. Guys will say they will thrive as a castle guard, but lack the courage to say, who goes there when things go bump in the night? Colors in medieval paintings depicting knights versus colors in modern movies depicting knights. My brother in Christ, this is maidenless behavior, is something that could have been said in 1324, justifying my study of the Middle Ages. Based on this alone, we never really stopped. Medieval Uber is getting really expensive. Man, I would love this. Inky paw prints, presumably left by a curious kitty on a 15th century manuscript. How did people in the Middle Ages know what skeletons looked like without x-ray machines? Edit. I forgot about dead people. When thou and thy brethren see a cute female in the vehicle beside ye, milady, fewer things bring me more joy than people in the Middle Ages trying to guess what an elephant looked like. If the devil tempted Eve with an apple, he tempted me with this sign. Monument closed. No entry. I'm going back to the Middle Ages to teach them science. The earth is not flat, we know. I don't care who your dad is. This is an illegal gathering. I can honestly say these gentlemen are enjoying fighting far too much for their own good. I was looking through medieval drawings of demons the other day, and I found the demon that makes you gay. Today I learned that the 1970s fashion aesthetic is just medieval. Yet another unrealistic medieval beauty standard for women. Vikings in Hollywood. Shield maiden power. Vikings in reality. I am back from my expedition to distant lands. I've been waiting for you. Guys, what's stopping you from dressing like this 24/7? A lot of stuff. A plague doctor with a friend group that consists of an old-time deep-sea diver, a renaissance beekeeper, a fencer, and an astronaut. My ancestors never dreamed of having this many tabs open at once. This feels like a good time to add one of my favorite weird inventions from history. The book wheel. I am a historian, and this is how it happened. The British are coming, unlike your wife, lol. Screw you, Nathaniel. They don't wake people up. Poor. The Middle Ages was a very exciting time in Europe. Look at these ancient mice. I'm crying. I like them. Babe, did you bring protection? Yeah, I did. Let's get it on then. Us. Oh, to be an ambiguously gendered little personification of winter in a Roman mosaic. Ideal self. All women born after 800 AD do is tempt, blaspheme, witchcraft, eat potent herbs to aid in their foul divinations, and lie. I heard that in the Middle Ages, nobles used to wipe their butts with ducklings. Is that right? We've become weak as a society, is all I'm saying. Modern Macy's Day Parade. Triumphal procession of 1517. Bro will say, yeah, I'm fine, and look like this. Stop posting that which I detest, or I will unlike thy page. Do as thou wilt, for this page will go on without thee. Ancient art versus medieval art. Designed by experts with PhDs. You simply don't get it. Built by medieval illiterate peasants. Knights in fiction. I will do as you command, my king. Knights in reality. Sorry, but we don't like you anymore. Time to die, I guess. The small medieval boy, after he sees the 5th person today run out of a time machine, and give him a sour candy. Ah, excellent work, Inquisitor, on burning that woman. How did you know she was a witch? Witch? How do I get one of these in my house? Your butt napkins, my liege. When you grow up, people stop asking you what your favorite medieval polearm is. They don't even care anymore. Armor in fiction. This iron cage is so heavy, and I can't move, but it's necessary. Armor in reality. Hey guys, watch me do a cartwheel while I take a poop. Had guys in the 1300s saw this and said, this is it. I'ma get medieval on your grass. If I ever win the lottery, I won't tell anyone, but there will be signs. There are so many of these houses in the UK. This image, Still Life with Green Soup, was created in 1912, and people thought it was from 400 AD to 1400 AD. Like, it has a modern doorknob and a modern kettle and everything. You think your crush is laying in bed thinking about you, but in reality they're reading about swords on Wikipedia. While you were wasting your time considering me as a romantic option, I was studying the blade. That wasn't very holy of you. Pictured, me, freshly 14, visiting Italy, full of white wine for the first time, ripping off my neck trying to keep my cool, as the performer is getting closer and closer to me, looking for a volunteer. I want you to draw me like one of your medieval hybrid seal-cow elephants. I'm pretty sure that's as far as infuriating helmets you'd hate to see before you get stabbed go. This one is definitely up there. How it feels to arrive later. a club. From a 9th century Irish manuscript, the phrase massive hangover, written in the ancient Irish text, Ogham. The monk must have been having a really rough day. The exact translation is ale killed us, which is somehow better. Sabatons are armored footwear worn as a part of a complete suit of armor. The pair of authentic German Gothic sabatons are from 1490. Grinch armor. I'm high as hell, and I'm just carrying around this lantern like a guardsman. I love these pillows are made by Mary Queen of Scots while she was in prison. They look like modern shitposts. We all have those days, feeling like a violin-playing lion, haunted by uncertainty. Cupbearers in movies. Taste my food, cupbearer. No, what if it's poisoned? Cupbearers in reality. Oh my god, this is the greatest honor. Medieval hierarchy be like, peasants, I am respected by both the nobility and the church for my honest labor of working the land and keeping people fed. Merchants, I have lots of money from moving goods around to sale and offering loans. Why doesn't anyone like me? My medieval servant boy has gone missing. I will just use Google to see if I can find him. This page cannot be found. Oh bother. Curses, I wish but for rest. Here be good folk of Hastings. I awoke for I heareth the chattering of armies and smelleth the scent of smoke and ashes. Dost thou know the cause for my misfortune? Thy land is to be sieged. Fool. Emperor, this guy, is the only person on Wikipedia whose article contains the words Inu, astronomer, Apple into... Do with this information. Don't tell me you're a goth, unless you dress like this. My body is a temple, therefore I am a church and exempt from paying taxes. I cracked my elbow at the skate park. It's over. I'll never skate again. I suffocated to death when my helmet was filled with mud at the Battle of Agincourt, 1415. Me as a knight. Me. Squire, young squire. Do you have the time? Squire. Sir, by the judge of the sun, it is 3 p.m. Wrong squire, it is shutting visor. Night time. If Henry VIII had a smartphone, to dissolve this monastery. Staying alive in the Middle Ages didn't just mean surviving the plague when you tried to do a matrix dodge during a sword fight, but it's not very effective. The Beekeepers, 1568. Now that plague doctors are cultural icons, I want these to be next, and I hope we arbitrarily decide that these two are somehow rivals. Why would they be rivals? They're dating and boop their masks together to kiss. The birds and the bees. Here's a comparison of the progress in building a 13th century castle in France using medieval techniques. 100% of medievalists didn't spot SpongeBob in this picture. I'll give you guys 1 second to find it. 1. You probably have seen it by now. Nice argument. However, I have depicted myself as the Chad and you burning in hell. Please help me. No, this really makes you think. White, black, man, woman, rich, poor. King Henry VIII. Ceremonial armor gifted to him by Emperor Maximilian I. In 1515, following their alliance in the War of the Leagues of Cambrai. Rules of dining. Ready for second plate. Pause. Finished. Do not like. American style. Barbarian invasion. I think I just solved all of our energy and transportation problems. Taking away their weapons at the end of the Middle Ages just made bunnies more proficient in hand-to-hand combat. Most movies depict King Arthur and his knights wearing armor like this and living in castles like this. The real King Arthur, or whatever local warlord the legends were based on, and his warriors probably wore armor like this and lived in castles like this. Oh, to be a cheeky friar having a little sip of mead from a tiny glass. Netflix Witcher armor for women versus for men. Wait until you learn how the rich ancient Greeks wore their armor. In 1561, an innkeeper called Hugh Draper was imprisoned in the Tower of London for sorcery. While incarcerated, he made these carvings in the wall, which displayed astrological symbols and numbers. Hugh, this is not helping you beat the sorcery charges. Jesters sometimes gave bad news to the king that no one wanted to deliver. In 1340, the French king's jester told him that his fleet was destroyed by the English, and joked that the English don't have the guts to jump into the water like our brave French did. Thinking about the werewolf from the hate mail David Wellman received after being accused of a werewolf, someone drew this in anger. They drew this and said, "Look at what terrible beast you are." 19th century colored illustrations of Buddhist heavens and hells. Noki. New ink just came in today. Ink with this level of drama demands the same in a message. I shall use your voice for violin string and serenade your widow. Notice how medieval women are always explaining something to men. Medieval medieval Scooby. This would be really cool for an episode. An electric toaster. This isn't medieval, but bestiaries. Monk 1. Do birds have meetings? Absolutely. They have a meeting hat and everything. What do they have meetings about? Mostly who gets to wear the meeting hat? Hold mine hair. Ye old party times. Verily thou art such a lightweight. Things ye can't even. Thou only liveth once. Me in an elevator with 4 strangers. Me. Swings katana in just the slightest wrong way. Katana. Edge chip. Hit loosens. Blade shatters in 3 uneven pieces. Pommel explodes. Me. Literally bends my European sword. Me. Smashes enemy to death using crossguard as a club. People in medieval art have 1 out of 4 expressions. Utterly annoyed. Constipated. Experiencing mortal terror. Dead inside. When Mansa Musa came to Egypt and accidentally ruined the economy. Edward III was the first English monarch to actually speak English for everyday use. He banned the use of French in Parliament in 1362. Today I learned during the Middle Ages there was a legal category called embrothement that allowed 2 men to share living quarters, pool their resources, and effectively live as a married couple. The couple shared 1 bread, 1 wine, 1 purse. Lads, I'm going to travel back to the Middle Ages so I can have fun eating wormy gruel, and hopefully top off the entire experience by getting stabbed in the stomach over a dispute about a couple of coins. You can do all of that in New Jersey. I think people in the Middle Ages actually did know how to make photorealistic drawings. They just chose not to because it's funnier to draw some messed up creature. They actually did make photorealistic drawings. Things just looked different back then. It was better long ago, complains modern man who imagines he would be a noble man war hero, but most certainly would be a poor peasant conscript on the receiving end of a gothic charge. When you are about to be executed, but you really need to finish that math homework. When you're dead inside, but at least the planet's pretty. Why I'm antisocial. People around me. Me. Night. What the frick? Oh yes, I get to talk about lantern shields. No you don't. Forget birth signs. What's your birth helmet? I'm a German salad. Cool. Just because your child is smiling at their phone doesn't mean they have a boyfriend or girlfriend. Maybe they're just looking at medieval root screens. Dogs in the Middle Ages played the bagpipes. Could hold their liquor. Were Catholic. Practiced psychiatry. Held onto your keys. Besieged rabbit strongholds. Hero. The villain's lair could be anywhere. The villain's lair. If every historical figure had a name like Bill Nye the Science Guy, what would they be called? Henry Tudor, the wife remover. It's always, oh no, a plague rat. Or, a vile carrier of pestilence. My name's Trevor, you know. I don't want to make light of incest, so I'm not reblogging the post, but I laughed at this picture of an inbred royal for like 5 minutes. Oh, Charles II, the Spanish monarchy at its finest. We called him the Bewitched, because calling him the fuck up was illegal. I can see that you have made 3 spelling errors. The last words of this person after reading— this isn't the Middle Ages. Friends, I have discovered my new Patreon site. I don't even know where this came from, but it showed up in one of my Google image searches. And I swear to God, any single one of these people's faces can be a reaction image for any occupation. Alternate title, talking about pee-pee. I plan to eventually use each face as a reaction image. 3-person chess. This can only end up in tears and physical fighting. One of my housemate has one. The above person was correct. Good morning. This quote still gets it. If the penalty for a crime is a fine, then that law only exists for the lower class. This ring, England, late 17th to 18th century. You could put a skittle in there. Wouldn't a ring like this meant to be used to carry a little poison? Ah, but consider you could put a skittle in there. In case you writers ever wondered. Made by this person on Facebook. The object comparisons are things of the equivalent weight, not things you can cut with the swords. Just saying so to preemptively stopped cursed comments. Recently acquired a new assistant. Meet the respectable Dr. Worm, the Muppet Plague Times Variety Hour. Today I learned if you polish an ancient sword that's been used in battle, even a 2,000-year-old sword, it will literally bleed out the blood of the people it's been used on, which smells like a steak cooking. Cool, and definitely not cursed. So how would you like to be painted, young lady? With my favorite fish? Are you sure it might with my fish? Okay. And this drunk cat. Today I learned King Gustav III of Sweden commuted the death sentences of a set of twins to life imprisonment if one drank 3 pots of coffee and the other drank 3 pots of tea to test the effects of the newly introduced coffee. Okay, but what this doesn't say is that they had to drink 3 pots every day for the rest of their lives. The point was to see which of them died first, and if coffee was dangerous. Both supervising doctors died before their patients giants did, and the tea drinker was the first of the two to die at age 83. It is not known when the coffee drinker died. It made him too powerful, and he's still out there. It's not known if he died. Imagine a doctor driving by an apple orchard and hissing aggressively at it like a vampire. An apple farmer and a garlic farmer team up to fight their mutual nemesis, a vampire doctor. Dr. Acula. Heresy in fiction. Hail Satan. No, this is heresy. Heresy in reality. Kill them, all orders from the Lord. We just want to live in peace. You ever hoist a big laundry basket on your hip and feel like the great tragedy of your life is that you weren't born a hearty peasant girl in medieval England who would die at 22 from an abscessed tooth? In my opinion, the fact that apparently people relate to this points to some kind of weird cell memory of centuries of female labor that's activated by extended pressure against the hip bone. I'm becoming an evolutionary psychologist. It was wonderful knowing you all. Apparently modern medieval scholars have no solid idea why there are so many old paintings of knights fighting snails. Like, that wasn't just one weird painting. There's hundreds of those. The first meme. And my favorite one here. I'm not saying humanity defeated an invasion of snail aliens in the Middle Ages, but hold on, wait, that's exactly what I'm saying. Snail aliens, or snailians. Oh my god. Okay, alien, snail, what do they have in common? Wait, hold on. Wait, snail? Ah, fuck, forget it. I thought snail said alien, and I was like, what? Did you know medieval castle stairs were often built to ascend in narrow, clockwise spirals, so right-handed castle defenders could use their swords more easily? Medieval peasants' diet, with a diet of greens and porridge. I have the strength to work the fields. A noble's diet. White bread and red meat are expensive, so that's what I mostly eat. That's healthy, right? Medieval theologian. In movies, the earth is flat and witches are real. The Bible is the only book in curriculum. Medieval theologian in reality. Should we debate Aristotle or that person today? Let's go to the university and delve deeper. Before being passed down to Harry Potter's father, the Cloak of Invisibility was owned by King Charles VI of France. When you're a plague doctor and misinterpret the latest news, map of Bristol infections as medieval doing the deed disease makes a comeback. Medievalists. Joy Pixels will definitely win in all-out combat. Functional and gritty, those swords look like they've seen a battle or two. What does Windows think it's going to do with its Nerf play swords? Don't ruin the magic of childhood for kids. Please keep this in mind with holiday season when spending time with younger family members. Let them believe it's fun. There is no need to tell kids that medieval sieges involved little to no combat, as attacking forces attempted to force surrender by surrounding a fortified town or castle and cutting off its supplies. Wife, did you get a gift for the baby shower? It's taken care of. Weapon baby rattles. Portcullis appreciation post. Modern historians. Your argument rests on faulty logic and needs to be reconsidered in light of the evidence. No, have you not read this obscure collection of letters or this diary of a random nobleman found under the early medieval historians? The only evidence you provided is a passage written in the margin of a poorly illuminated manuscript and hagiography, where a saint casts spells. I know, vampires have been drinking human blood for centuries. They don't give a damn about guys on 8 different antidepressants. They were sucking on asbestos factory workers. The absolutely hilarity of imagining some older vampires hectoring younger ones. Back in my day, I had to drink blood with radium in it, and I liked it. We glowed in the damn dark for weeks. Time smells bad. What synesthetic bullcrap is this now? Listen, I accidentally leave the milk out overnight. Milk smells bad the next day. Why does milk smell bad? Time gets in it. Ancient Greek philosophy. When you're trying to tell someone to eat a bag of peepees, but eloquently. Thou may ingest a satchel of Richards. Is there a doctor on this plane? Yeah, but I'm not that kind of. The pilots are debating the merits of the terminologies of the Dark Ages versus late antiquity versus the early Middle Ages. Okay, I'm here. Remembering the Middle Ages is a great antidote to modern decadence. The people who undertook 200+ year building campaigns and launched crusades to take back the Holy Lands were men of towering confidence, ambition and energy. They were the heroes of a civilization on the rise. So far, I don't enjoy The Sims Medieval as much as I enjoy The Sims 3. I do, however, think that this is the best personality trait in any Sims game. Period. Whale ate my parents. Sims with this trait will occasionally get whale rage, a negative buff that gives them -10 focus. To remove the rage, the sim must go scream at the sea. Best trait ever. WebMD Middle Ages. Question. I have of late felt a strange pain in my elbow. Answer. Prepare thy soul to be shriven, for thou hast the plague. Try these home remedies. Take in thy hand a scourge having 3 tailors, and with it flagellate thy sinful body in the public road, begging mercy of God. Have less a blood. Was this helpful? Aye, nay. 36 out of 39 serfs found these helpful. Christopher Marlowe wrote plays 400 years ago, and they went on to give me massive brain rot. Literally, how was I supposed to read this and be normal about it? Why should you love him, whom the world hates so? Because he loves me more than all the world. Ooh. Also, Bodiam Castle in Sussex used to have a right-angled bridge, so any attacking forces would be exposed to archery fire from the northwest tower to their right side, i.e. sword in the right hand, shield on the useless left side. 10 signs you're living your best medieval life. 1. Your roof leaks in only 3 places. You ate 3 days ago. The water's polluted, but you still have beer. Only 26 more days to St. Swithin's Day. The Inquisitors decided you weren't a heretic this week. You joined something called a crusade. Sounds fun. The Manor Lord has approved your marriage to be that. I know this is kind of irrelevant, but I just remembered. Do you guys know what the meaning fuck is? I think fuck means fornication under consent of king. That's what it means. Annotations in medieval manuscript are invaluable witnesses to the intellectual and personal ways that readers in the past responded to the medieval textual records. Annotations in medieval manuscripts. Henry is a shite, and lousy nav, I dar both say and swear.